Hi, everyone. It is Sylvan from Sylvan's Way. Every October, I reach for this deck, which makes my readings feel like I'm walking through a haunted neighborhood under the full moon. And I wanted to introduce you to the Trick or Treat Tarot. Let's get started. Now, I know most of you probably already know about this deck, but I've only had my channel for like 6 months now. So this is my first spooky time season going through. And of course, I have to show this deck. So this deck was created by Barbara Moore. And if you know anything about Barbara Moore, you just know how awesome she is. And the artist is Jonathan Hunt and the publisher is Llewellyn Publications. Now, this was released back in September of like 2022. So it's been out for this is like 3 years. So I've had the joy of using this for the last 3 seasons. It's been great. So this is like a Halloween themed Rider-Waite-Smith deck that blends classic tarot symbolism with spooky, whimsical imagery. But it really is designed as a fully functional tarot deck for readings while celebrating that playful, eerie atmosphere of Halloween. So let's take a look at the box. So the box is, of course, that Llewellyn hardtop box with the magnetic closure, and it's got this image is the world card, and you'll see it when we go through the cards. It's super cute. And the back of the box says, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, shuffle the cards on Halloween. Isn't that great? Welcome goblins and ghouls to a tarot deck that of frights and fun, disguises and delights, divination and daring adventure, featuring the irresistible illustrations of Jonathan Hunt and the expertise of best-selling author Barbara Moore. This Rider-Waite base deck is easy to use and includes a full color guidebook for exploring the cards. Trick or Treat Tarot provides exactly what you need to confront fear, peer into the future, and create a unique identity that suits you every day, not just on the spookiest night. So, I mean, they say that because they want you to use the cards all year round, but I only use it during spooky time. Okay, so I have gone into November using it, and I have started as early as September using it. So, or August. September. Yes. I get my dates right. So, but anyway, so that's the box, and this is the inside. It folds out, and it has this little tab. Of course, you can pull out the user guide, and then on the inside we have the cards, and there's an image here. Now you could tell I've had this for a little while because it really is starting to get banged up and beat up, but it still works. So what I usually do during the spooky time is I take my cards out and I keep them in a bag separate from the box, and then until I go back to store it, because I use my decks seasonally. So here are the cards. So we're going to look, I'm going to turn that over. We're going to look at those in a second. First, I want to look at this fabulous guidebook. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I love good guidebooks. So this is that, typical Llewellyn guidebook with full images on one side and the description of the card on the other side. So you get that full, beautiful guidebook with that glossy, paper, which is really nice. And I mean, the images are so beautiful on these. Every time I see these images, I think, man, I just really want to make something out of it, So here's our table of contents. Then we go into an introduction. And she has a nice explanation of Halloween and the myths around Halloween and things that allow children and adults get to practice and things like that about Halloween. And then we go into the basics, learning how to use your tarot cards. where did the tarot card meanings come from. So, you know, your typical Barbara Moore explanation, a lot of good juicy information in the front of the book, how to do a reading. So it goes on to that. And then it goes into the cards themselves. So each card has a full color image. It has the title of the card, a description of what is going on in the card, and some background information. These are really fun to read because you get to see what this image is and what they're talking about and how it relates to your Rider-Waite-Smith. And then we have our keywords for regular keywords, and then our reverse keywords. And they do that for each one of the cards throughout the entire guidebook. Then in the back of the guidebook, this is another thing I love about these guidebooks, is in the back of it, if I could eventually get to it, spreads. There we go. That's what I wanted to get to, spreads. Look at how many spreads this has. All of these Halloween themed spreads. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different spreads. So 9 different spreads going on here in this guidebook. So, I mean, you could fill up your entire spooky month of October with just these 9 spreads that she gives you in the book. So it's fantastic. And all of them are geared to using this specific deck. So I love this guidebook. I really enjoyed reading it. I highly recommend reading this guidebook because it's fabulous. So that's the guidebook. And then here are our cards. So here are the backs. They're super cute. These are some of my favorite backs. And you can read this reverse because reverse are also included in the guidebook. So we have that. It is not gilded, so no gilding. And then these are going to be our images. Each image has the title at the bottom of it. And we have a lot of bright, they're dark, but they're bright colors. It's kind of like, see how there's dark, like it really uses the play of light and darkness, but with bright, happy colors. Like this deck is not scary at all. It's not horror at all. It's more like, it's like gothic, kind of like, how would I describe it? It's like more whimsical rather than like frightening. So it's really good for like readers that want to have a Halloween vibe without that intense horror type imagery. So it's really great. And you've got pumpkins and ghosts and black cats and witches and skeletons and trick-or-treaters and graveyards and haunted houses. All of that stuff is in there with those rich autumn colors of orange and black and purple and green and red. It really just gives it that full Halloween, cohesive Halloween atmosphere that you get. And the images are very cartoon realistic, with like storybook and animated kind of feeling. So that's kind of like the way I would describe it. And the size of the cards. I'm like, what else? What I was going to tell you? The size of the cards are your normal card tarot size. So when we hold it up next to this, it looks like it's just a little smidge shorter. So these are 120 by 70. So this is probably 115 by 70. So it's just a smidge, just a little smidge shorter. Okay, so that is about the cards. Let's look at these awesome images. Wait till you see these images, guys. It's so fantastic. So our Fool, look at this. Like, I really love how they built this imagery right into like the Rider-Waite-Smith. If you know Rider-Waite-Smith, you can follow this imagery in this. It's so close. It's so close. I mean, it's not exact. It's not a recoloration. It's more like a theme, a Rider-Waite-Smith theme deck. But here we have our Fool, and look, he's just going out. His little bucket is empty of candy. So, and we have a black cat here instead of a dog, which is appropriate. So it's like he's just about to set out on his adventure to go get his candy. So that is our Fool. Then we have the magician, of course. And so we've got this dad really acting things out, throwing cards in the air, and he's got all of his tools on his table. So that is definitely very Rider-Waite-Smith. I love that the high priestess is what am I, a tarot reader, a card slinger. And so of course that makes sense because, connection to, the veil, knowing the mysterious, the hidden, that kind of thing. So that's what we do as card readers, right? It's perfect. The Empress, so she's handing out some candy there. We have the Emperor. Of course, he's leading his people out there, charging into the night with his sword in hand. So he's definitely the Emperor. Then we have the Hierophant. He is passing on his knowledge to these little ones. This gives me the feeling of the uncle that doesn't have any kids that shows up to a Halloween party not dressed up. And then somebody says, "Hey, Bob, can you go watch the kids for a minute?" And he goes in there and he's like, "Well, I don't know what to do with these kids. Let me tell them some lame ass story." And so he sits down, and for some reason, the kids love it and it's all good. The Lovers. Oh, I love the Lovers. That's such a good one. The Chariot. I feel like this Chariot, he might not have control. He might not be steering this Chariot with his, self-control and his, it looks like this Chariot is stringing him along. So Strength. Oh my gosh, such a good Strength card. Look at her. With the Beast. You know who this is. It's Bella and the Beast. The Hermit, look at him up there with his, oh my gosh, words. Words are like leaving me right now. But his lantern up there at the top. He's throwing off this candy, so he's teaching others. I love this Wheel of Fortune as well. Do you know what this is from? This is from the Matrix. So the Wheel of Fortune, do you want to take the red candy or the blue candy? Do you want to stay where you're at, or do you want to go someplace new? So I like that, rolling the dice almost of not knowing what you're going to get when you actually take that candy in the Matrix. Justice. This is such an interesting thing because this is not Lady Justice. This is, you know who this is, right? Right. So that's not really justice. That's inviting the masses in and immigrants and that kind of stuff. But it still looks nice. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I could always be wrong. The Hanged Man, of course, that's a dad up there hanging from the tree, getting a different perspective. So you see how all of these tie into Rider-Waite-Smith. We have Death, but look at the flower that's normally on his flag, that he's on the horse and there he has the flower. So New Hope there. Temperance, perfect. The Devil. How many times? I remember when I was younger, I tried to dress up as these sexy little minxes in their Halloween costumes. The Tower, this is great. Look at all of these electrical plugs that are going into it, and he's flipping the switch, and that tower is coming down. So that's really good. We have a pretty little star here. We have the Moon. I love these two dogs on each side. I love that almost all of these images have like little animals in it because, I'm a big animal lover, so I love that there's animals in it. The Sun. And then we have Judgment. This is fantastic. She's standing and she's blowing the horn, and all of these arms and stuff are sticking up out of the graves. So that's so fun. And here we have the World. So this has come in full circle. So we had originally our Fool that set out with nothing in his basket. And now he's come full circle. He's got the full world, and he's very happy. Notice there's no smile here, and there is a smile here. He's giving you the peace sign, and his basket is full, or her basket is full of candy. So I love that. I think that's fantastic. Okay, let's continue to look at these. I'll try not to go into them that much, but I just really wanted to point those things out. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands. See how the pillars are still there with the lines over it? Celebration is going on. Five of Wands. They're hitting that piñata. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. The struggle is real. Whack-a-mummy. Eight of Wands. I love, love, love this Eight of Wands. And all these little bats have wands in their little feet. So it's a great way to show momentum. Nine of Wands. Notice how these sticks are over the candy and this trick-or-treater is standing over the top of it, guarding them. So it's, see how I mean, like, it's not exactly Rider-Waite-Smith images, but it gives that message of Rider-Waite-Smith. 10 of Wands. Page of Wands. It's so fun. Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical. Queen of Wands. Oh, look at her. She looks fantastic. King of Wands. Look at these little mice. See, those are these little animals. I love it. Ace of Cups. And so instead of the dove, we have a bat. And instead of the coin, we've got a pumpkin. It's great. And then Two of Cups. Look at that, Romeo and Juliet. Three of Cups. Come on. You know who these ladies are. You know who they are. Put it down below in the comments. If you get to this point and you're like, I know who they are, go ahead and put it in the comments. I want to see how many people actually watch this video and put it in the comments. Four of Cups. Look at him. It's the guy sitting under the tree, but like all of the cups, they're in front of him. He's not interested. And there's this little cup getting dangled at the side. Like, ooh, death by chocolate. Five of Cups. That's actually a very happy Five of Cups there. Six of Cups. You know, this is about remembrance, nostalgia. But this guy is kind of scary. I think he's the scariest character in this entire deck. And then Seven of Cups. Pick your poison. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. Look, she's so proud of all those cups. All these cups. All those little... It's so great. 10 of Cups. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. And look at this little baby. It has wings on him. It's so creepy, but great. And then your King of Cups. Now we're on to swords. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. So see how they're still blindfolded? So that choice, that decision. Three of Cups. This is probably the best Three of Cups out there. No more stabby of the heart thing. And now it's a stabby of the pumpkin. Four of Cups. Five of Cups. Aw. She took all of the toys. Six of... I'm sorry. I said cups. This is Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Look at that, guys. Little raccoon. Love it. Eight of Swords. I love this Eight of Swords too. So this is normally the lady that is on the beach with all the swords around her. Her eyes are blindfolded and she's tied up. And so the mummy, look at the mummy, is blindfolded too. Nine of Swords. That would definitely give me nightmares. 10 of Swords. Much better than the guy lying on the beach with all the swords in his back. Page of Swords. So cute. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. And King of Swords. Lastly, we have the Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I'm going to show you a side-by-side of the Rider-Waite-Smith. And you'll see on many of these images where it's very similar. Like this is a hand with a pumpkin on it. And in the Rider-Waite-Smith, you'll see that it's a hand with a coin on it. It's coming from the same side. So it really is. It's easy to remember. Two of Pentacles, and we are balancing here. Look, she's balancing this candy above these kids. Three of Pentacles, working together to build that guy. Four of Pentacles, standing over his stuff. These are mine, and look at that little dog. Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. He's giving out candy. So instead of giving out coins, this guy is giving out candy, which, you know, during trick-or-treat time, of course, that's what you want is your candy. Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. This guy reminds me of a D&D guy. Queen of Pentacles, and lastly, our King of Pentacles. Isn't that great? Isn't that like such a fun deck? Okay, so before I show you shuffling, I'm going to show you real quick a side by side. So we're switching over. Okay, so I hope that that was helpful. And next, let's look at how this shuffles. Now, I already know this shuffles great. So we're just going to do some shuffling. Look at that. I mean, granted, I've been using this for like 3 years, so the cards are really broken in well. But, you know, I think that when I first got this, there was no problem with the cardstock either. So, I think if you got a used one of these, or if you got a new one, I don't think you're going to have any problem with shuffling with this deck. It shuffles great. I love how it shuffles. You know, we could do a hand over hand. That was my fault. I know some people do this. I can't do this very well. I'm not very good at that. I'm gonna do a waterfall. Let's do all of the things, right? There we go. So any way you shuffle any way you shuffle it, it shuffles great. So let's spread this out. Look the way it spreads. Oh, so good. So good. I have really enjoyed starting to do picking my cards this way, shuffling them, putting my intentions into them, and then choosing a card to read. So let's choose a card and read out of the guidebook so you can see how it reads. So I don't know. Let's choose one from over here. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay, the 10 of Wands. Ten of Wands. After a hard night of trick-or-treating, some like to relax around a bonfire. Maybe someone asked Quasimodo to haul the wood because he looked so strong. Maybe he is strong, but that costume makes the process look really cumbersome. Can't someone help him? Does he not want help? Did he lose some contest and now must carry 10 long sticks? When this card comes up, you're overwhelmed. You might feel burdened by many small things or one big one. There is simply too much going on and too many demands on your time, energy, and attention. Some questions to consider include, do you have to carry everything now? What can be safely set aside? Who can help with the load? Is there an easier way to manage all your obligations? There are times when you do have to manage it all. If that is the case, may your burdens ease soon. That is possible because to get all tarot speak on you, the tens indicate the end of a cycle. Keywords are burden, obligations, numerous opportunities, duty, responsibility. And reversed is physical exhaustion, opportunity, and subjugation, and tyranny. Sorry, skip that word because I didn't know how to read it for like 2 seconds. So that is a reading from the book. So tell me, what do you guys think? I think this deck reads like a playful, like storyteller. It's really direct, but not harsh. It's like really perfect for seasonal readings, ancestor spreads, or Halloween parties. And that's because it sticks closely to the Rider-Waite-Smith structure. I think it's also really good for beginners because it's easy. But then I think like seasoned people would really like it as well. So I think if you're looking for a Halloween deck that's both like collectible and practical, this one is worth taking a look at. Because I mean, like I said, I've been using it for like 3 years now and I absolutely love it. So tell me, what is your go-to deck for like the spooky season? Like drop it in the comments below. And then if you love Halloween decks and want more reviews like this, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Okay, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you. And until next time, thanks. Bye.